that day. And so that was obviously the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. One, to tell them, yes, take the tube out, and then to watch my daughter die in front of me.
I went up and just held her hand, and I whispered in her ear and said it was okay for her to go. And that Matt was waiting for her, and to just go to Matt and everything would be okay. And as much as I knew we were making the right decision, it's just hard to watch your child pass away like that. So.
From the stories that we've been told, 3 people's lives were saved immediately that night. We've gotten to meet 2 of the organ recipients, and our life's been changed through that whole experience. And to have those 2 ladies in my home together, hugging both of them, was a spiritual experience. To know that part of Caitlin was in both of them, keeping them alive.
I mean, definitely losing both of them was a hard thing, and living with it now, it's just sad because each was like genuine people, and there's not many genuine people nowadays. So
his personality, definitely, just because he was just like, before I had met him, I never really met anyone that like was such an individual that, you know, had his own thoughts about things, and just, you know, he definitely like taught me how to think a little differently. And you know, like one time I even remember him, like, I think I was just asking him about something, like I was like, oh, that's not normal or whatever, and he was like, well, what is the definition of normal? And it just made me think, like, there really is no normal. Like, normal is what you establish, and you should do things your own way. I don't know, I just think that he had a really good way of doing that.
I miss his smile. He was so just happy. I miss walking into church and just knowing Matt Boles is gonna make me laugh tonight. I'm gonna have a good time if Matt Boles is there. The thing that I miss the most about Caitlin is walking into church, walking into school, walking into her house. Every time I saw Caitlin, in the first 5 seconds that she saw me, I can still hear her voice saying my name. I can still hear her say, "Aaron," in the most excited tone of voice. I miss the way her face would light up, and I miss knowing that that was my best friend. That was my rock. That was my person that I had no matter what in life. I just felt more comfortable every time she looked at me and said my name in that tone of voice.
The number one thing I miss about Matt is every morning leaving my homeroom. Our homerooms were on opposite sides of the hallway, and I would pass him every single morning in his little flannel shirt and his little sunglasses on his head, and it was a familiar face, but at the same time, like, every single morning I got to see Matt walking down the hallway, and it always made me happy. Like, no matter what your day was gonna be like, it was nice to see him in the mornings.
When I'm walking home from school, I expect to see Matt's car in the driveway, but it's not there.
A big brother and a big sister to look up to, because it's really hard for me to look up to my older siblings, because they're all like some of them haven't come out as strong, and others, like, I never see, they've like excluded themselves from our family, and it's really hard to be the older sibling to Becca, because like I don't have somebody to look up to. Just having like a role model would be the number one thing I miss.
everyone at some point in time will lose, someone they care about. And, the hardest thing is when they're so young.
There's so many things I wish that like thinking back on that last week before the accident, so many things I wish I would have said to Matt or Katie that I didn't. And you realize that you take people for granted until they're not there anymore.
You need to appreciate who you're with. There's no other way to put it. You have to love what you're doing with who you're with. Just appreciate it all, because you never know. You really don't.
Well, it's like a huge weight that I carry, and I think I've just slowly gotten stronger. The weight is still there. I think the first year I cried about every 3 days, and the second year I cried about every 10 days, and the third year now I cry about every 2 or 3 weeks.
Matt and Katie I'm sure they had their fights, but they were some of the best brother and sister act that there was. They loved each other, they loved being together, and it's just, as sad as it is, there's peace and joy to know that they're still together. Because I couldn't imagine Katie without him. I can't imagine him without her.